All right, we're getting back into it here. Map 2 between Vitality and Mouse Sports. First map, I'm not going to give any spoilers, but you can see at the top, Vitality 1. Map 2, Mirage here. Flames, he pushed himself up to the sandwich position. Knows that he probably has contact from that A ramp. He has Mezzy in sport, that P2K towards CT spawn. Zywoo patrolling mid windows, Apex and Rops over on that B side. It's full kits, or full armor for the CT side, only 2 flashbangs on Brolin. First contact goes away of Flames, and he's missing all the shots onto Spinks, who cleans him up towards that sandwich position. Mezzy responds with 1 kill, Zywoo on the next 2, entering the site, Brolin and Torji alike. Zershin finds that kill into Mezzy at triple, but Zywoo responds with the cross of Jim Fat. Apex responds with that. Apex rotates into CT spawn, able to jump up on that ticket booth and kill the last in Jim Fat towards a ramp. You can see Flames on the screen there. He's not too excited with how that went down. He missed some easy shots, but luckily you have Zywoo on your team to be that number 2. So clean, so quick, so calm about it. Yeah, that's exactly it. He's the fucking GOAT. You're totally right. Round 2, 1-0. Vitality wins the pistol round. They force up here. 2 M4s, a FAMAS, and 2 MP9s, and it looks like some cat/mid aggression from Zywoo and Rops. Great movement. On the opposite side here, no bomb plant goes the way of Mouse Sports, so they're forced to save this second round. Spinks with 1 kill. He's able to buy up that Deagle with 1650 in the coffers. He needs to get a kill this round and a bomb plant in order to have that full buy next round. It looks like they're just bleeding out the utility from this Vitality squad. Flames solo towards that A site. Apex rotates towards lower mid. He's clearing out underpass, and as he moves out of the way, Jim Fat jiggles into the position. No info gained by Apex, info gained by Jimmy, though. He saw the feet of Apex rotating back towards that con. Flames a little bit of an island over on that A site. He does have Apex again and connector to support him. Zywoo in mid window and Rops deep cat. Mezzy playing an off angle towards the top part of apartments. And the first contact goes the way of Apex to Jim Fat in the lower window. The swing comes out from top mid from these T's. Brolan goes down to Apex, traded by Spinks with that Desert Eagle, and Rops to contest from Cat. He gets a semi-clean kill towards Torji behind the box, takes a dink for his troubles, but not enough to put him down. He's dropped to 31 HP. They know where the last 2 members of this T squad is, the Mouse Sports squad, and they're both top mid. Converging are the CTs of Vitality, but they put the pause on. They know any kind of aggression, any kind of loss puts them into a 2v3, splits the sites, and they're not comfortable with that. Rops patrolling from ladder room. He's on that jump up box in mid window, just watching lower mid. Flamesy on stairs in connector area, making sure that no one can walk up connector. And Zywoo playing from that ninja box on A site. Flames swings the bottom connector smoke and is able to clean up both T's crossing the catwalk position. A little bit of a beer chug here going on. You want the crowd to get excited for that, dude? You're slow as fuck. You lost to your buddy right beside you. No, you didn't win. You think you did? Neither of you are winning. That's all right. Why am I being mean to you? I shouldn't be. All right, we're going into round 3 here. This should be a buy for the Mouse Sports squad. As I say that, 5 AKs, less than ideal amount of utility across the board, and the early smokes towards mid-window are going to limit Zywoo's ability to use his M4. Jumping out mid-window is Apex. He gets into connector with Flames. It looks like they want to aggress towards that top mid position, or at least burn out utility. A missed Molotov from Brolin, unlikely. Misses the connector and lands at bottom mid, allowing Apex to still control vision towards that top mid, but the B hit is coming. Mezzy has slinked his way into apartments a little bit on that green chair, a little bit of an off angle. Will Zershin check for this? He will, but he doesn't check deep enough. Mezzy gets the first kill on Zershin, traded by Spinks, and a fluffed Molotov by Rops, 1 for each side here. Spinks enters the site, takes out the now known Rops because of that flopped molly over at get right position. He enters the site, drops to the known location of the dead Rops, and kills the Apex as he jumps out the window. 4v2 retake, and it looks like Vitality are going to have to save their first lost round in this entire grand final. I've ruined the first map for you. Massive spoilers, 13-0 Vitality dismantled Mouse on Inferno. Here's the replay of that first kill from Spinks onto Mezzy. He knows exactly where Rops is based on the molly location. He jumps across the gated window and cleans him up. Spinks entering the site, knows that Apex likes to reaggress on that B site through the window from playing with him for 3.5 years, and he kills him. Not a terrible save by this Vitality squad. Flames would have been the only one who couldn't buy for himself. Apex is going to come into this round. Single loss bonus, $1,400. He'll be able to get an M4 drop to him from Zywoo, and the other 2 of Rops and Mezzy will be able to buy for themselves. And they looked fired up. Brolin looks focused as all hell. Zershin excited, a little fist bump with Spinks to make sure that the round is going to become stable. Or they're going to be able to stabilize here. First round win. Excellent. Get it on the board. Capitalize it. Fox better than Zywoo. Get out of here. Fox was a great player, don't get me wrong. He had a little bit of a stint there in G2 Kingwin. That was many years ago, 2014, 2015, but nothing after that, really. He played in a couple of shitty teams with Michael Ailey. They weren't able to get anything going. Early underpass aggression here by Vitality. Both Rops and Apex jump themselves into lower, making sure that they can clear out the space, control top mid control, make sure that no funny business can happen towards that B site, and they smoke themselves off. This information must be known by Xertian, though, as Spinks and Upper B has relayed it. But now Rops and Apex are stuck there, and because they're aggressive towards lower mid, they smoke up Con. Brolan's aware of this, so he's able to take cat control. He has to clear out ladder room, and he's doing it diligently, but as I say that, Zywoo's aggressing towards catwalk. He's making sure that he can clear this angle out while Rops and Apex clear up those B stairs. Spinks is pinched and he doesn't even realize it. He has support from Brolan, but he has to get himself through a Zywoo. As I say this, Jimmy and Torji with the bomb in Palace are trying to work their way towards Deep Palace, but that's all for naught. They're falling out. Xertian has a little bit of a timing on mid. If he catches Rops out here, this could be perfect. Brolan in that ladder room, still unaccounted for, but probably known. First fight goes the way of Apex onto Xertian. A double swing with a flashbang from Mezzy over the mid window allows him to clean up Xertian. The T's are rotating back towards the B site. Spinks thinks he has space and confidence from the last round, but now he has Zywoo to deal with on site. Last time it was Apex, Mezzy, and Rops. 3 amazing players all in their own, but not Zywoo. Zywoo plays from that truck. He's a little bit alone, so Mezzy rotates in with support. Mezzy only has that from Os, but it looks like he's going to take first contact to pass that info to Zywoo. As I say that, Zywoo gets boosted on the default box, and he's watching the cat approach. Brolan's position almost positively noted, now positively noted from that catwalk position. And are they going to clear him out? They do. Spinks goes and clears the jump out box from Zywoo. Brolan gets that kill onto the backside player of Mezzy, and they've cleared the site. 4 alive for Mousesports on this retake. Brolan taking a dink from that Galil from Mezzy from site towards cat. They know this. 3v3. Apex cleans up Torji, who is over-peeking backside into the library, and now the retake is on. They're unaware as to where these T's are, but they take the first contact on Brolan. Rops most surely pushes the smoke on Cat, and he does. He cleans up the first kill on Brolan. While that happens, Spinks kills Apex and Flames, who push out through Market, leaving Rops into a 1v1 against Jimfat. He takes a fight towards apartments, and Jimmy, just too quick, the upper angle shooting down onto the face of Rops, is able to clean him up. Second round on the board, and second round win for this Mousesports squad. Extremely, extremely, extremely confident win by them right now. They're entering this B site like it's nothing. The utility usage is pretty good. The trades are actually better. The self-sustaining clears of these sites are incredible. Spinks playing extremely well on this map. This was one of his highlight maps when he did play for Vitality. He was always, always, always aggressive on that B site catwalk area, and he was able to take control. That forces this Vitality squad for the first time onto a save. Torji pulls out the op and he picks from mid window towards top mid, and he gets the kill on Zywoo. That's why were you peeking mid window with a deagle, Zywoo? Doesn't matter. Mezzy forced to play deep on Cat. He's about to get Molotoved off by Jimfat. This is a known location by him. With that 5-7, or with the P2000, he's hoping to just get info towards bottom con where Rops resides with Flames in jungle. But Flames, on that death of Mezzy, needs to rotate over towards that B site to get this space. Apex linking up with the Rops. Looks like he wants to take a little bit of a fight towards con. They should be trying to burn out the utility here, get themselves into an off angle, unpredicted angle. As you can see, Flames already on that B site in the unpredicted angle. As I say that, Rops gets taken out by Torji. 3 shots through the smoke. Torji finally capitalizes with the third one. A little bit of stress shooting by Rops, thinking he needs to get it done. The next fight's coming the way of B site here. Brolan actually falling off of B site. As I say that, I think he's just setting up for some util towards truck as Torji links in with him. Apex jumps up on the truck with that MP9, but he gets taken out by a deep Brolan. The next contact from Flames takes fights towards Brolan in the upper site, and he's getting wrapped. Wrapped from Cat, wrapped from Spawn, wrapped from apartments, and Xertian finally gets that kill. Backside from Cat onto the aforementioned Flames. Third round on the board for this Mousesports squad, and Xtaz has taken a pause. You see him reach over there, look to Apex to his side, give him that little T symbol with his hand, saying, let's take a pause here. What's happening? How are we winning so many rounds? How can we not capitalize? Same sort of issues were happening early on the Vitality side on Inferno, but they were not losing rounds because of it. They were just losing the opening pick, mainly in the form of Zywoo and or Mezzy towards that banana side, and they were able to redirect, recapitalize on the space that was lost by this Mousesports squad. A better read of the map potentially by Apex or Zywoo, whoever's making those mid-round calls. Sometimes Zywoo makes that call and they're like, let's trust this guy. He's got an AK-47. He's the #1 player for the past 7 years, essentially. GOAT of the fucking video game. So why not? This TAC pause might see some changes in the Mousesports squad as well. They're taking top mid control. They know that Vitality is active early. They know that their connector control is pretty powerful because both Flames and Rops are playing there like separately and together. Flames sort of on that A site, support towards connector. Let's see what kind of hit happens here. As I say that, common aggression by Xertion straight through mid control. They're not going to be ready for this lower connector timing, but the flashes are still good. They're definitely ready for it now. They're playing an off angle. They know that hit's coming towards A site, and Flames overextends into the Torji op. Torji, all he had to do was post. As I say that, Spinks and Xertion both capitalize on the ZywOo and Apex push through lower connector and window simultaneously as if they're ready for this, thrusting Rops and Mezzy into a 2v5 unwinnable retake, and Brolin is already on the hunt. Brolin walking up catwalk here. He knows these two players are going to be playing towards CAD or B site, and he's entered. He's up on get right. He knows one can be market or backside. He's diligently clearing, while Mezzy is still upper B, walking himself into lower. He has a fight on Torji, or on Xertion. Fight goes Xertion's way on Mezzy. He's ready for him on the stairs, leaving Rops in a 1v5, and he is shot in the back by Brolin, who entered that B site earlier through catwalk. Wow. This is gonna be a better game than once expected from that Inferno map. This map was picked by Mousesports for a reason. They have some sort of read, some sort of play that's happening here against this Vitality squad, and they're capitalizing on it. Let's see what Vitality can do. This might be a second time out here. You can see in the background there, Cyclone, the coach of Mouse, trying to inspire his team. He's clearly talking to them. It's a second pause. Nope, no pause. He wasn't talking, I guess. 4-2 for Mouse on their T side of Mirage. Full buy for Mouse, of course. Big green on Torji, 4 AKs across the board. On the opposite side, we have an MP9 on Rops and Deagles scattered across the other 4. Single flashbang. It looks like maybe a little bit of a set play, mid-rounding. Xertion definitely caught the shoulder of Flames going into ladder room, and he knows it, so he has to get himself out of there, and he does, successfully taking 0 damage as well. A couple of shots fired, but that means mid-control conceded from the CT side. T's now being loud about it, mollying outstairs, smoking out mid-window, making sure that no funny business can happen. Torchi's still on that big green. Looks like he's rotating back towards that A site, but he's wary of an A push. Rops, Apex, and ZywOo setting up on that A site, seeing if they can catch any kind of execute off. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. It looks like they're rotating towards that B site. Mezzy back site, just a Deagle and body armor has all to do. Xertion still patrolling that lower mid with Spinks on catwalk. As I say that, he's actually in ladder room looking at mid window, but the B crunch is about to happen here. If this happens, I assume the Vitality squad of 4 are going to save. There's no point. A little bit late to take this A main space from Apex and Rops, and now Mezzy has it all to do. First contact goes the way of Mezzy onto Brolam with a Deagle shot for 21 damage, but he gets taken out by the over-aggression of Xertion on catwalk, leaving Spinks top mid with 4 Ts on, I say that, ZywOo gets a kill on Xertion into window from market. Easy kill for ZywOo, 4v4. No retake still going to happen though, and Spinks is hearing this noise towards mid. He sees one in mid window, sees a second jumping up, and he has a third contact pushing top mid in the form of ZywOo. He has to get himself out of there. He takes a clean kill on ZywOo, he flashes himself back so he's not getting overwhelmed, and he sees that he's getting pushed. He's able to clean up the second kill on Rops, but Apex with that Deagle comes up and gets the kill. They pick up the AK along with the Molotov, and they have Jim Fat to contest with at the end of B long hauls, but they're trying to save this AK. They're just getting themselves out of there. This will be a 5th on the board for Mousesports on their T-side campaign of Mirage. Great bounce back from Mousesports. They have a really solid read on what's happening right here. They know the space they need to gain. They know how fast they can do it. The money is being read almost perfectly by Brolan and his T-side of Mousesports. I assume Cyclone came in late. He wasn't there for the quarterfinals or semifinals. Had to have Zipex step in. I wouldn't say that's too much of a detriment. Let's check out this fucking trophy. Look at how fucking dirty it is. Are you kidding me? Blast, get this shit fucking sorted out. Who's putting their hands on your fucking trophy? Dude, get this shit shiny. Dave, if you're here and you hear that, you saw that, let me mark this. We're at the end of round 7. You watched the camera. Okay, 5 rounds in a row for Mousesports here. They're technically on fire, and a full buy comes back in from the CT side. They're borrowing a few pieces of utility, but ZywOo on that op is a dangerous prospect. It looks like the A hit's coming in. They know that they haven't been aggressive towards it, and the smokes are out. Flames going to take first 2 contact from Jim Fat and Spinks, who ran out of apartments or palace control. Apex to trade onto Brolan towards A rep with Flames as the assist, and that is an excellent start to the round for Vitality. This should be their 3rd round on the board, breaking the win streak of the Mousesports squad. They tried a fast A hit, thinking that the mid-control was going to come in, but it wasn't. Apex had a read. He said, fuck that, we're not taking mid-control from these guys anymore. They're pushing us back, we're wasting our time. They're dissecting us because we're trying to dissect them. Oh, excellent. I'm happy you fucking saw that dirty-ass fucking trophy. Why? Bro, Why? You're giving out $1 million 4 times a year to these players. You can't keep that fucking trophy clean? Doesn't matter. Third round on the board vitality here. They still haven't planted the bomb. Third round on the board vitality successfully stopped that bomb from being planted, but we know Xerxes and Torji, both excellent players, and this is not over until it's over. Rob's playing on that catwalk with Mezzi, making sure that no one can walk into the B apartments. I think they have it kind of controlled here. Zywu's rotated out of mid-window. He's just watching that murder hole, no rotations. Xerxes climbs up connector. I guess Zywu didn't pass the info that it could have been open, and he shoots Apex in the side of the head. Flames already knocked down to 4 HP on that A site. He's fallen into the under ladder position, and he's passing the info. As that happens, Rob slinks up catwalk and shoots both of the remaining T's in the back at top connector. Fix your mistakes, Matt. Fix them right now. No, you're good, bro. Work on it. Here's the replay of that site entry. Flames looks ready for this. First guy falling, he just takes him out of the air. Jimmy didn't even get to see his enemies. You see him flop to the ground dead. Spray into the smoke allows him to get the second kill. He gets the dink onto the Broland towards a ramp, and Apex comes and cleans it up. 5-3. The streak of 5 rounds by Mouse is broken. A full buy on both sides is coming out. Tons of money in the coffers for both sides. They're going to be able to buy next round regardless of a win-loss bonus. That round allows Vitality to go down to 3 round loss bonus, which is $2,400 on top of what they have. They're buying next round, as well as up to $7,000 in Broland's bank account. Excellent flash towards that A-ramp from Flames to support Robs to get that kill onto Spigs, but he's not their normal A-ramp player, so they know they need to be looking for Jimmy. As I say that, Jimmy swings the corner, is able to take a headshot on Robs, that headshot box. Xerxes has gotten up connector because of that over-aggression from Robs towards A-ramp, knowing that connector is probably clear. Apex takes the next fight onto Broland. He gets flashed off, but he's not dead. He's forced into the corner of jungle, and Broland hunts him down. A couple of shots to the back on Broland from Flames, who's under the ladder room, and Zywu looks like he's going to be patrolling that B site. Jimmy with the bomb on his back, walking through B apps. They can't account for where Zywu is right now. Torji in that ladder room, clearing out space, holding the connector, and Broland has worked his way through ladder room into mid window, walking through that murder hole, and he's going to walk into market. But Zywu, pre-scope, doesn't need to make any noise. Looks like he's ready for this. Broland gets the contact towards Flames and Spawn, giving Zywu the information, and mollied off is Zywu. He pushes through a molly that's been thrown by Broland into that marketplace. Broland dodges his shot and is able to capitalize on the now burning Zywu. Good clap back from Mousesports there. They lose an easy round and over-execute onto that A site that was too fast. They didn't wait for the initial barrage of utility to land. Following this second round, they lose the opening pick, but Jimmy's able to capitalize and get that kill onto Rops. He falls back. He doesn't lose his position. He picks up that bomb and rotates towards that B site. As that happens, they know that these CTs of Vitality need to take space. They need to look for an opening, so Broland finds the gap. He finds the gap left by Zywu, known location of Flames, and they're able to capitalize. Different play here from this Vitality squad. They put Flames towards Catwalk with Rops in tow. Rops goes down to Broland, but a quick trade onto Broland from Flames puts it into a 4v4 situation. Flames has been dinked down a little bit, knocked down to 38 HP, but that's totally okay. The unconfirmed damage from that utility allows Mousesports to reset into a 4v4. Flames falling backside B. He's boosted Mezzi up silently so he doesn't make noise in the truck. And Mezzi has gotten into that green couch position again. The same location that he was in where he got traded out 1-for-1. But this time he has Flames backside to capitalize on that second kill. Utility displaced up towards upper B to stop any kind of push, giving Mezzi a one-and-done opportunity. Apex has pushed himself up top ladder. He looks like he's taking Palace control with Zywu at Ticket, making sure he controls connector and both A-ramp. As I say that, Zywu walks past Ticket, gets himself tucked into that firebox position, just looking towards connector catwalk side. Apex has cleared almost all of Palace, but he's got no other information. All he knows is there might be one here. Jimmy has been unaccounted for this entire round, usually their Palace player. He's now walking up connector as 3. Xerxes, that late piece towards the A-ramp. Unlike Zywu, he misses a shot towards connector, and Apex walks to his doom at an under-aggressive Xerxes this time. Zywu's position known and taken care of by Torji with that op through connector, leaving just the pre-damaged from mid Flames and Mezzi to deal with a 2v4 post plan. Excellent recovery from Mouse. They see that Flames is towards Catwalk. They know his rotational time back towards B through Market CT spawn to get the Ticket is going to be longer than it would take them to go from Top mid up connector. They use their utility effectively. They make sure that there is no funny business through that mid window. They smoke it off, flashes over A site, allow for the hit to come up connector. As soon as that op rattles off, Xerxin knows that he doesn't have to fight onto A site. ZywOo's going to be playing alone based on all the tapes they've watched. He knows Apex is probably cleared through that palace position because they haven't accounted for him yet, and Xerxin catches him off. This forces the 2v4 post plant, where now Flames is trying to fight for his life at deep apartments. Utility rains in on top of him, and he gets taken out. Next to go is Mezzy. He's taking that fight against this clean killing Spinks who takes him out deep apartments. Wow, that forces a save for this Vitality squad, maybe a second tech timeout. There's Xtaz, the coach. He doesn't look too worried. He looks more annoyed than anything, and that annoyance probably comes from this play right here. Knife out, Y. Unable to clear your corner, not expecting Xerxin there. It is an uncommon position for him. He's usually the aggressive top mid player, but unaccounted for, you got to wonder where he is. They can be anywhere. Clear your corner. 7-3 for Mouse Sports on Mirage. This is their map pick. They were beat 13-0 by Vitality. I said I was not going to give any spoilers, but I already have, so it doesn't fucking matter. The penultimate round of this first half, and Mouse Sports has 7 rounds. The buy on the Vitality side is dog shit. Rops with armor and a FAMAS, ZywOo with no armor and a scout. Apex with an MP9, Flames with a, well, I guess the saved M4. No, he didn't save, he died. And Mezzy with the MP9. That's a curious little buy here. Flames is down to $800, but with the loss bonus here being 4, he's able to buy next round. When mid-window smoke lands and Apex jumps out, Goomba stopping Broland in underpass, but traded out immediately by JimFat. Xerxin gets a second kill onto the FAMAS of Rops towards connector side. 4v3. A little bit of a stalemate, 1 minute on the clock here. Mouse Sports don't have to do anything, and they aren't doing anything. Spinks just chilling top, upper B, making sure no push happens. They know lower mid is semi-clear. Xerxin left to contest with it as JimFat rotates back to hit the upper B. His utility is going to rain out, making sure that that site B is completely clear, or at least blinded, and corners clear that they can't clear. Molotoving back site, Molotoving maybe truck, as Spinks Molotov's truck. Corners being cleared, which is excellent. Good to see from Spinks. He wasn't doing too much of that on Inferno. He's kind of getting taken out. And in mid-window, Mezzy has been spotted right side. The information's passed by Xerxin saying, I see 2 boys get onto site right now, and the hit happens. Jimmy and Spinks both jump out, truck and window respectively. Torji the third plants default. Site's been cleared. They know that the retake has to come from Cat. Spinks getting himself into the marketplace with that AK-47, knowing that the unarmored or low utility CTs won't be attempting this retake. As I say that, Mezzy gets caught off by JimFat in the connector piece. Spinks takes out Flames in market, leaving ZywOo with just that scout going towards market, and he's destroyed by Spinks as well. 8th round on the board for Mouse Sports. This is an excellent recovery from their disaster of an Inferno map. But again, T-sided map. Apex is a legendary call where you get that op on ZywOo, and Rops is able to do his thing towards apartments. It's going to be a bloodbath, I think, on this second half. It's going to be really brawly, lots of fights back and forth. Jimmy on point today. Spinks seems like he's recovered from that initial, hey, I'm playing against my old team that I was with for 3 years who kind of cut me for baiting. Let's watch me bait. He baited a little bit on Inferno, but he's really stepping it up here on Mirage. He knows the playstyle of Apex and ZywOo, and he's capitalizing on that. He has the experience of Xerxin with the aggression of JimFat towards that A ramp, knowing that at any time Jimmy can strike. They've been watching for it. They've capitalized on it with a few flashbangs. The A hits are not actually successful right now. Maybe Jimmy has to go back towards that A site. Berlin is definitely not better than ZywOo. Let's not pretend at all. I think you actually have that back. Maybe that means ZywOo's bigger. I don't know. Tech pause. Fuck tech pause. Let's see how far I can zoom through this. I'm not that far. I'm only 10 seconds behind live case opening. Oh, that was close. Garbage. Hopefully this tech pause doesn't last too long. As I say that, it disappeared off of our screen, so the game should be going live here. We're not too stressed what the tech pause was. Might have been a little bit of dropped something, maybe water on the table, maybe a disconnected wire, anything that's going to take them out of the zone, making sure that the tech pause comes in so they can realign their chi, get themselves back into the game. Vitality are by no means out of this yet. Final round of the first half, 8-3 Mouse Sports in their T-side campaign of Mirage. An early mid-window smoke is existent with a top mid smoke as well. Broland tries to swing underpass, info gained by him on both Rops and Apex who were lower, but a smoke from Flamesy towards bottom connector allows them to get out. As I say that, they get sprayed down by Spinks, who push through the CT smoke in lower to kill both Apex and Rops. They've tried that play 3 separate times now, and 3 separate times it's been unsuccessful, both in info gain and in space clearing, because there's 2 of you down there, and you're holding a single choke point that you can't get out of from top mid. The utility rains down and keeps you in there, and then you're pinched into a lower connector position. You're taking away so much valuable space on the map from the T's early. No stress, I understand it. But after about 5 seconds, if they're not taking that space, you need to leave because the space is gained by them somewhere else. It should be a solo push. Maybe get the Opt to land down there, heavier utility towards bottom connector to allow you to get out. Make sure that the read of the money is better. Maybe don't do it on a full buy. All these possibilities. Rops was able to capitalize on Broland, though, which is relatively good, giving the 5-4 opening advantage. Damage on desertion and Sphinx has been noted from the AK-40 or from the rifle of Apex, but nothing really to write home. Flames to take next contact towards an unaware Xertion. Zywoo peeks towards mid, expecting Torji not to be ready, and he gets taken out. Sphinx second kill onto Flames, and the hit is coming up through connector. 2 players dinked up, but 9th round on the board for Mouse Sports. 2.5 minute little break here. I'm going to pause this shit, see what Dave Henry has to say.
What language is spoken in Lisbon and throughout Portugal?
Oh my god.
Portuguese.
Portuguese.
Portuguese. Portuguese.
Really?
That's the only thing I know about Portugal.
That was a tough question.
Which Portuguese Counter-Strike team has reached the highest rank in HLTV's global ranking?
Yeah, we didn't let him finish.
Hello.
Why do I need to wait for him to win?
Saul.
Saul?
Pain. Ah, Saul.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah, it was just a 10-second pause there. I didn't wait for it to finish before I could say hello.
Found at the entrance to the city's own harbour. Belém, Galata, the Tower
Yeah.
of London, Giotto.
Damn.
Yeah, man, it's still good. The only thing I would say is,
What is that?
yeah, if you do fuck up or whatever, just keep talking.
Raise your hand?
No.
Don't.
I'm gonna shoot.
Yeah, don't. Just ignore it. Keep moving on. Like, don't acknowledge it. Let's put it that way.
Kalata.
Come on, just say something.
First one, the Belm.
Belém Tower.
Belem?
Hmm.
So you knew. No, I didn't know. I just thought that the London is no chance and stuff like that, so I tried to be logic with that.
Yeah.
I was also going with B. It sounded
Yeah.
like it sounded like this could be it.
What was the first big international Counter-Strike tournament hosted in Portugal?
Oh my god. I think I've been there, but I don't remember the name.
I would say Blast Lisbon 2019, 18,
Moche? I'll go with Moche.
19
I would say.
or 20.
Remember that Blast Lisbon? I'm shooting bad. I said Blast Lisbon.
Blast Lisbon.
No, 19. 19.
What sweet Portuguese pastry is a common must-try in Lisbon? The options are coulant, pastel de nata, cannoli, macaron.
Cannoli.
Pastel de nata.
Pastel de nata. B. De nata.
Pastel.
Name 3 teams in the tier 1 that have players in them that speak Portuguese.
Let's go. Saul. Well, in top what?
Imperial, Soul, and Pain.
That is insane.
Furia? I don't know. Furia. Saul.
Saul? Furia. Pain?
Pain.
Pain.
Things heating up a little bit here inside the Mayo Arena. Vitality, not quite that hot-handed Inferno performance. The fact they've got that in their back pocket will be a nice relief as this best of 5 goes on, but clearly we've got a game.
I'm going into the next game.
We're fucking rock and rolling.
All right, welcome back. Second half here. 9-3 for Mouse on their CT side. They had a pretty good campaign on their T side, 9 rounds total. Of course, pistol round. So the utility is on Brolan and Spinks. Spinks actually has armor, a molly, and a nade, but no upgraded pistol. He's 19-6 right now. It looks like the B hit's coming in from Vitality. It looks like these CTs are ready for it. Spinks under the gated window. He has a molly prepped, ready to whip it down as soon as Jimmy gives him any kind of contact. Xertion to patrol towards that A site. He's on stairs, looking towards Palace, looking towards A ramp. He only has Rops to contest with, and I assume that Rops smoke is going to come in. A little bit of a distraction is going to be made. Zaiwu patrolling top mid from back apartments. P250 in armor. Single flash on Apex, along with Mezzi and Flames towards that B site, and it looks like the distraction is happening. A missed utility from Rops lands weirdly on stairs, but he has to get out of there. The hit enters B site. First contact goes the way of Torji towards Flames, who swung back site, and he gets taken out. 3 CTs on site here to contest with this, now 4. Mezzi to respond. Torji to get a second onto Zaiwu. Apex to kill Brolan. Spinks takes out Apex, who's jumped out of the window. Mezzi on site. He's already got 2 on the round so far, and he's getting pinched from Catwalk and backside. He capitalizes on Spinks and Xertion. Pushed up Cat. He has armor and a USP, and he can do this. Rops at 82, Spinks at 4 HP, but that bomb is about to be planted. Timer now against Xertion. No kit in his hands, so he has 25 seconds to piece this together, get on the bomb, and defuse it. Rops is rotated back into market. He's in the doorway, and Mezzi is backside. He's against that open pillar on the right side towards Truck, and they're peeking together. He transfers to empty pillar. He has Rops with him now, and they spot out Xertion. Oh, Xertion through the edge of the box takes out Mezzi, and Rops cleans up the kill. First round of their T-side campaign goes the way of Vitality. Xertion doesn't look too happy for it, but it looks like the hit was known. Oh, this guy on the left here is the host for Portugal. He gets the crowd going. This guy's trying to open a case here, maybe for good luck. I fucking doubt it. I've never seen a knife, and this guy gets the worst shotgun you could possibly imagine. 4 cents on the Steam market. Good for you. 2 of those go to the Steam market. 1 you don't get because of taxes, and 1 goes to you. Excellent. Cost you $3.39 Canadian to open that. You made 1 cent. 9-4 for Mouse on their CT side. They just lost the pistol round of Vitality, but the force buy comes in anyways. 2 scouts, 2 MP9s, and a 5.7 in the hands of Brolan on that CT side. Head armor, again, only on Brolan and no kits. 1 piece of utility as a smoke on Jimfat sitting on that B site as he jump spots. 2 MAC-10s, 2 Galils, and an AK-47 for Vitality, and they're taking their time. They're burning out any utility, trying to find a stack, listening for that force buy, and the only thing that they have found out is that they have nothing to find out. No shots have been fired, no utility is out yet from this Mouse Sports Squad side. As I say that, 5.7 rings out from Connector towards Palace. Zaiwu walks out unexpecting of Xertion being underneath the stairs, and he dies. Apex trades onto Xertion, who's over at the sandwich. Brolan kills Rops, falling out of apartments, and Flames connects onto Brolan. He jumped across Tetris, landed on stairs, and cleaned him up. Jimmy in jungle behind a molly. He's been peppered by utility. He does have armor and an MP9. He's going to take this first fight onto Flames, but he's ready for it. While that happens, Apex gets flashed into CT spawn and takes out Torji, leaving Spinks all alone with armor and a scout running towards top mid, running for the hills. He's currently 20-7 on this map. I think a save is a great call by him this round. He has $2,300, $2,350 worth of utility, or worth of a weapon and armor here, so he just needs to chill. Bringing that into the next round is going to be huge. Couple of tags, soften up the T's a little bit. First contact on this post plant goes the way of Flames. He jiggle spots Spinks in T spawn, and now they have to get themselves out of there. Flames might die to the bomb here. 36 HP. He has to fight it. He makes sure he doesn't die here. Let's see. Boom. No, he survives. 3 survive for this T side of their second round of their T side campaign. Excellent. 3 can buy for 2, 2 can't buy for 3. Should have AKs or Galils across the board here. They know it's going to be a low buy by Mouse Sports. There might be a MAC-10 in the hands of Flamesy again. He was able to get 3 in that round with that MAC-10, and Apex was able to get 1. So that's a perfect round for them. Money made, util spent perfectly, information found, capitalized on. As I say that, Spinks with that armor and scout heading towards middle, taking that early fight. He's got a few of these T's to contend with, Apex and Flames, but the flashes come out, smokes are good, and they're already up to mid-control. They're walking on to Connector, knowing that Jimfat's probably playing close to that. Zaiwu and Mezzi towards A-ramp, and Rops in that aforementioned Palace position. We know he loves playing that position. We know he's really aggressive towards their end B apartments. His ability to dissect and gain information is phenomenal. Brolan's there to receive, but Flames seems to see him. Through the top of the smoke from Connector, Flames shoots Broland in the back, forcing him back, which allows Rops to take the space. The A-ramp hit comes in. Mezzi and Zaiwu collab for 2, both on Torji and Broland. Jimfat capitalizes onto Flames, who was a little bit delayed through that connector position, didn't have Apex in support, but Apex gets that kill. 4th kill comes away of 2 grenades from Mezzi and Zaiwu landing onto Spinks' head. He had that scout and the armor, leaving Xertion in a 1v4. 2 of these Vitality players in Rops and Zaiwu are damaged up down to 29 and 30 HP respectively, but all 4 of them should survive here. Xertion patrols that little boost outside of Murder Hole on the CT side, just seeing if anybody walks into his crosshair, but I doubt it. Mezzi and Zaiwu tasked to clear the flank so they can get out. Apex and Rops, both top connector, just playing trades off each other. They know that the low buy was in. They know the buy is going to happen next round. They're hoping to clear out Xertion, but it's not going to happen. Xertion enters the site looking for any kind of cheeky kill. No kid on his back. He might just try to touch the bomb to get himself out of there. Does a little chip damage to Apex towards a ramp, but nothing to write home about. Does he save the MAC-10 for the following round? No, he does not. Bomb goes off. 6th round on the board for Vitality. It's now 9-6 for Mouse Sports on their CT side. Again, T-sided map, 9-3 half is pretty standard. Vitality was not shook by that. Huge grenade landing directly onto the head of Spinks. I thought it was a nade stack, but it was just a 60 damage nade from Mezzi. He threw it from Tetris all the way over the headshot box into CT spawn. Landed right onto Torji's head. Tac pause comes in. Nope, never mind, I lied to you. No tac pause. It's just a delayed screen. 9-6 Mouse Sports on their CT side of Mirage. Early mid-window smoke lands perfectly. Broland to try to receive and contend with this. He throws mollies top mid. He has Xertion and Spinks pushing up catwalk and ladder room respectively to take fights, but all for naught. They jump out mid-window on a flash and they see nothing. Zaiwu to respond. Flash is top mid. They pop the smoke. They don't find any information. Mid control currently in the hands of the CTs, but they don't truly know it. Spinks caught out on cap by Zaiwu and sprayed down. Excellent aim control, or spray control by Zaiwu. He recedes top mid, giving up the space, allowing his teammate in Mezzi, who's underpass, to hold this space. Mid window is re-smoked, so they have 20 more seconds to take control of this mid, but Jimfat's rotated up towards Cat, and Xertion in a little bit of an off angle holds from connector to top or to underpass, and Mezzi with a jiggle spot clears him out. He knows the next fight goes his way. He can win this map. He loses out. He takes a dink through the wall and he rotates back towards the B site. And Jimfat, aforementioned on Cat, sprays down 2, is not able to get out, traded by Zaiwu. And Zaiwu enters that B site. The rotation is on. A 3v3 here. Only 2 on the site for these Ts, and they're getting pressured immediately. Already out backside is Xertion. We know he's over aggressive, but so is Broland. From the window, he shoots Mezzi on the cross. Zaiwu tries to attempt for the trade, and he gets taken out. Rops' aggression up Cat is a little bit slow, and Xertion is waiting. On the opposite default position, Rops is ready for that fight, and he takes him out. A good nade to backside could clear out Broland. Does a little bit of chip damage down to 38, and Rops knows where both these players are. Second missed molly from Rops this game. One on Cat, the second one almost in the same location, but he's cleared out by Torji, who is playing from Market with that op, the known location of Rops towards Get Right. 10th on the board for Mouse Sports. Excellent round by them. Only 2 survive. Remembering that 2 cannot buy 3, 3 can buy 2. So they might not have everything they want to work with this round, especially because they spent all their money going into this. On the opposite side, 3 rounds in a row from Vitality, extremely powerful. They're going to be able to buy into this round. This round is about patience from Vitality, burn out the little to no utility that Mouse Sports has. As I say that, Jimfat going towards that B side, he has a molly, a smoke, and a FAMAS. No head armor on Broland or Spinks. I look at the opposite side, full utility, full AKs, and the big green on Zaiwu. Torji on the CT side does have that op as well, and he's posted up on Cat towards that bench position. Zaiwu, not known to go into that bench position, he kind of avoids it. It's kind of one of his staples. You'll never see him get kills from there. As I say that, he's probably going to walk into that position to get fucking smoked, but this is life. Mezzi patrolling upper B. He hears the jump spot of Jimfat towards Car, but he's not really worried about it. He transitions to lower, making sure that no one's clearing up underpass towards him, but his teammates have mid control. A resmoke of mid about to come in. Lower connector smoked by the CT spot, or by the CTs of Xertion. A little bit of a stalemate. Utility trading, 1 minute mark on the clock. T still control mid, 4 of them grouped up top mid, and Mezzi just patrolling towards upper B now. He's got to be diligent in these clears, which he is, making sure that Jimfat hasn't pushed up. The first contact goes the way of Torji onto Flames. Flames' jiggle peak, not the greatest on this map right now, but it allows for the T's to get Cat control. Torji can't refight that. He gets Molotov'd off. He has to back up. Utility exchange between Jimfat and Mezzi upper B, and Mezzi decides, I ain't going there. We hear the op. We know there's 2 there. Let's regress, get towards connector side. Mezzi's job to fall back and get towards that A-ramp and the late piece coming in. Xertion overextends onto that first fight to Apex, takes him out. Broland tries to get a trade, but gets killed by a ever-watchful ZywOo. No scope from ZywOo, up connector towards jungle onto the over-aggressive Xerxin again, leaving Spinks alone in Palace. He doesn't hear Mezzy walking out A-ramp yet because he's been quiet, but he knows that the T's are there. ZywOo taking contact from Cat on Jimfat. Spins 180, takes out Jimfat. Spinks responds onto Mezzy, trying to get that jump up box to get into Palace because Spinks had been unaccounted for. 2v2. Rops and ZywOo, the new guy, Rops, onto this team. They run out of time? I guess they ran out of time. Not enough time. Shit. 11th on the board for Mouse. I wasn't even watching the time. My bad. That looked like a easy to win 2v2. I want to say easy to win, but not that easy to win. ZywOo, 3 clean kills in this round. That's a dirty fucking shot. That's the 180 that he was going for, but he immediately gets traded. Crazy. Timeout for Cyclone here. He's kind of smiling. He's like, boys, we know exactly what's going on. They take mid-control sloppily. Their util is not overlapping. They're not really taking these team fights the same way they did on Inferno. On the opposite side, Xtaz, the coach of Vitality, is looking at them going, all right, boys, we know how they take mid. We're trying to do things early as a team, but they're giving us that space way too quickly. Once we take that space early as a team, we're going into this solo, kind of a fucking holding pattern. It's not working. Start using that utility to flush these corners out. That's a dangerous buy. Is that a full buy? Yeah, full buy coming in here. I say full buy. Force buy coming in here by Vitality. AK on Rups. Op on ZywOo saved from the last round. They dropped over Tech 9s, I think, to Apex and Flames. They might not have because they saved. They don't get any money. Smoke top mid, smoke mid window. Torchi gets taken out by ZywOo through the mid smoke based on his shot. ZywOo's able to calculate exactly where that shot came from and clear him out. Chip damage onto Xerxin with a grenade towards connector from... I think that was Flamesy, who was late top mid, knocking him down to 92, susceptible to one taps from those Tech 9s. The A hit is coming in, and there are no CTs to receive. They're getting ready to play a retake because they're taking mid control. Xerxin clearing underpass to make sure that nothing's happening top B. Jimmy getting aggressive top B, and Spinks rotating over. A little too late, though. Broland walks out to the first contact. ZywOo misses an easy shot, and Broland's calling for the troops. He's flashed back into jungle. He's forced off the line. Spinks playing on this little bit of an off angle, a little boost behind the CT spawn box, and he's not swinging for the fight. He's giving them the space. 5v4 retake for Mouse Sports here. This is the 18th round. Mouse Sports is up 11-6. They have time to play with, but a spam through the smoke drops Flames by 31 and Mezzy by 54. A second spam from Broland through the smokes cleans up Mezzy as well as Spinks onto ZywOo. Spinks pushes through that spawn, is able to clean up a second kill into the swinging Apex through a ramp, leaving Flames from that 5v4 down to a 1v4, and Spinks is on the bomb. No kit, but plenty of time, and they know where Flames is in the connector. He capitalizes onto Broland, but traded through the wall by Xerxin. 12th on the board by Mouse Sports. Wow. They go from getting destroyed on Inferno 13-0 to come back here and make it look like they knew what they are doing. They know what they're doing. Oh, okay, never mind. Double fucking smoke break here allows ZywOo to capitalize on the reloading Torji in mid-window. Spinks playing phenomenal here against his old team. We haven't seen this form from him yet at any level. He's able to beat other teams the same way he could when he played on Vitality. But playing against Vitality, he seems to go quiet. There's no ability for Apex to see him and yell across the screen at him to tell him he's being shit or baiting, so he's able to play his game. He's kind of carrying them right now, though, because it's 12, 11, and 9 kills, respectively, for the other 4 players of Mouse Sports. Brolin and Torji both on 11. Mid-control utility comes in, 12-6 for Mouse Sports on their CT side of Mirage. It looks like they could clear it out right here. First kill goes the way of Apex on an overextending Xerxin. Second kill for Apex on Broland, who's trying to trade him out, knowing that Apex usually does these plays alone. Spinks capitalizes on Apex headshot from ladder room towards lower mid. Clean kill, but he has more to contest with. ZywOo trying to get that jump up position towards bench. And Spinks, of course, for that second kill. 12 HP left on him, and he should be cleared out here shortly, but he has Jimmy on catwalk to support. Torji playing that jungle position, making sure no one can walk up connector. It's a 3v3 right here. They know they have damage on the Spinks, but it's not sure how much. Smoke's about to fade towards his catwalk position, and Spinks has been boosted. It's audible. Robson knows that the only way he can get up there is with a teammate, and he falls off. So they know there's 2 towards this B site. This hit should come in towards A site, but no one's calling it. Could have been a little bit faster. Flames towards top mid. Looks like he's going back into apps control, and Mezzy clearing from underpass to upper B. Now with that information gained, Flames fell off of double stack, or one of them fell off double stack. That means there had to be 2 towards there. You get that kill on A side of Torji. You guys need to regroup and hit that A side, but it looks like they're going towards B. Spinks not calling that bluff. He's stuck in jungle room. He's got that AK-47, and he's picking up an op. It looks like he's going to go for a save. He does have a kit. He does have an op, 25 and 9, but with 12 HP, 20 seconds on the board, and all 3 terrorists on that B site about to plant the bomb, it is all for naught. He's got to save. 7th round on the board for Vitality. The money is not great for this Mouse Sports squad. This will be their first loss in a while, so it should be $1,400 in the bank. Xertion is going to be broke. Brolan's going to have 3K. Torchi's going to have 2,500. Jimfat's going to be the only one who's going to be able to buy, and because it's CT side, Spinks is going to get the $1,400 as well. So a force buy should come in. Hopefully, Vitality capitalizes on this. They're at 7 now. This will put them up to 8. It'll force a save by Mouse, which should put them up to 9. And the next clean gun round should be 12 to 9. And that's Mouse's next chance to close it out, barring any kind of silly plays by this Vitality squad. 3 alive for Vitality with not a lot of money in the bank. Again, 3 can buy for 2, 2 cannot buy for 3. $3,500 is the round win that they get, plus the bomb plant of, I think it got changed to $600, so they're able to push those AKs out to the rest of their team with head armor and all the utility they need. Their job this round, find the op, burn the utility, don't get caught by a flash play and lesser weapons, win this round. Force them onto a save, like I said before, and get yourselves up to 9 rounds. 12-9, attack pause should be called by Cyclone to say, okay guys, we got our weapons back, we got all of our utility back. As I say that, you can see the force buy here. 5-7 on Xertion, MP9 on Brolan, and a FAMAS on Spinks with $0 left in the coffers. And Torji getting berated by nades and smokes towards that connector play, trying to go for an early peek at Brolan solo towards this A ramp. He's going to take the first fight against Apex, but a jiggle allows Apex to get out cleanly and not take any damage, but get the information. Rops tries to walk through a mid... Hold on. Rops tries to walk through a palace smokes, caught up by Torji, who's on stairs, but Apex is able to respond up ramp towards Jimfat, who is trying to rotate towards stairs. Spinks a little bit of an off angle towards mid window, catches off some damage onto Flames, but is unable to capitalize on the kill. Flames transitions into underpass. Spinks tries to jump out the window, I don't know why, and gets killed in the air by Flames, while Mezzi capitalizes on another kill towards lower connector. Torji on A site with that op. He's getting pressured by Apex on ramp and mollied out by Mezzi, dead to the Flames. 3v1. Xertion's position not noted yet, but they know that he's probably on some sort of force buy. They expect him to have armor and an M4, maybe an MP9, so they're smoking off all the angles. They're playing it safe. The utility is running dry on this Vitality squad, but with 1 molly left on Zaiwu, they can molly off a certain angle, make sure the space is clear. They have 40 seconds to work with. They know Xertion is dangerous, and with that pickup of the FAMAS, his position unknown, they're making sure they're doing everything correctly. Molotov towards jungle to clear angles. Flamesy to support this connector play. Fight towards jungle. Mezzi tucks himself into sandwich, but Xertion on the save. Like I said, this next round is going to be a save round by Mouse. If they can go into it with armor and a FAMAS, plus the deagle that he has, the buy gets a little bit stronger. I wouldn't be surprised if that FAMAS gets transferred over to Spinks. Again, why did Spinks jump out the window here? He had the space to get himself out. I know he didn't know anybody was top con or in jungle position, but at least the percentage chance of victory is higher than jumping out mid-window. Totally fine. Flames 24 HP, the bomb about to go off, but he should be more than okay to get himself out of there. Again, Xertion's position unknown, so they got to go slow. They got to play those trades. Excellent. 8th round of the board for Vitality. Money starting to build up. 3 survive. 3 can buy 2. Like I said before, one person is going to have a little bit extra money in the bank, which is good. They have to force every single round on this Vitality squad because they can't lose a single round. They're able to do that with 3 alive. The force buy is going to be a full buy, of course, AKs and that single op on Zaiwu. On the opposite side, Mouse Sports, they are broke. 3 loss bonus now, $2,400 in the bank across the board, maybe a $400 or $500 investment. Xertion's going to be able to drop that FAMAS over. He doesn't actually. He elects to keep his... Oh, he gives his 5-7 to Spinks. I feel like the FAMAS should have been given to Spinks, but with no armor, I guess the FAMAS stays with Xertion. And a quick A play is coming out. Mouse Sports hasn't tried this yet. They know Rops has done a little bit of aggression towards Palace, and it's always been unsuccessful, but he patrols the top mid now. 4 terrorists out A ramp dry. They take first contact on triple against Brolan. The utility comes in to dump and push him out of position. He smokes himself so he doesn't get mollied and falls back to CT spawn. Jimfat unaccounted for at that firebox. He's playing a little bit of default, makes sure that he can get an easy kill. As I say that, Xertion dies towards jungle from Mezzi. Apex capitalizes on that hidden Jimfat. Flames kills Torji in CT spawn. Brolin capitalizes on a single kill towards Apex, but Rops that late piece towards mid, gets the last kill of the round. Excellent. Excellent round. 12-9. Here comes attack pause. Should be by Cyclone. Yep, you can see him on the mic right there. I called this 4 rounds ago. All right, boys, we got the money. What were we doing before? We know they like to do silly group plays towards mid. You can see when we're on a low buy, they hit towards A. Don't expect that A play. I want some aggression towards mid this round. If we take mid control from them quickly, we know they're going to fall back. Mezzy always clears under, and he's always a lone upper. Jimmy, just spot it from catwalk. Get ready to fight early. If that early play does come out on A, we wrap behind them through T-spawn. You guys cool? Let's get it. Here we go. High fives and ass ups across the board. Mezzy buying all this stuff, giving his little fist bumps to X-Taz, his coach. And there's Cyclone. This guy's a god. He's got quite a brain for this game. He understands everything. He's patient. He's calm. When you hear him on the microphone, he's never excited. He's never aggressive. Oh, hey, guys, how's it going? You're doing great. Keep it up, boys. You're better than them. Smiles. Be happy. Here we go. Apex with the op towards top mid. He's got the spawn for it. He's going for the pick. Xertion trying to get aggressive towards connector, but with no support from mid window, he is unable to do so. First kill goes the way of Rups on the aggressive Broland through apps. I thought they were going to go a little bit more aggressive towards mid, but that's fine. They see that these T's are grouping up towards mid, and Apex going for that aforementioned peak that ZywOo doesn't go for, and he's about to lose this fight to Spinks. Oh, he almost catches him on the jump as he crosses from catwalk back onto site, but Spinks re-aggressing towards this now known position. He's like, there's no way that was a ZywOo shot. He dinks up, gets a little bit of damage on Apex, but unconfirmed how much. Xertion re-aggresses into Palace, and Rops is absolutely ready for this. Second kill of the round, clearing up almost all of A site. Re-aggression towards mid happens here from Jimmy and Torji with Spinks in tow, sitting on that catwalk. Flashes rain over, but no space gained. Flame seems like he's ready for this, and he might have caught the head of Torji lurking under. Again, Mezzy alone towards that B apps control. He knows lower mid has been cleared out. That's called by Flames. Hey, man, one of them might have got underpass. You need to clear yourself out. He backs out of that position, knowing that the bomb is alone. If he loses it, it's over. He's rotating back towards that A site where Apex and Rops sit. A resmoke into Palace is about to clear, and Rops looks like he's getting ready to go for it. ZywOo and Flames both regroup towards that A site, but it looks like this read is being read very well by the CT squad of Maus. They have two towards connector and Torji in mid window. Let's see if they can stop this hit towards site. Smokes and flashes come raining over. Molotov for that jungle position. Molotov for the stairs position as well to keep anybody back, and the hit enters this site. First kill goes the way of Rops, watching Spinks push through that jungle smoke, leaving Jimmy alone on stairs and bottom connector in Torji. This should be a 10th round on the board for Vitality. A save needs to come in from Jimfat and Torji. They're on 2,900 loss bonus. It's going to be another jumbled buy next round. Maybe if Jimmy and Torji are nice, they'll be able to drop a pistol to a couple of their teammates who could buy armor so they can have $2,000, maybe 1,500 because the loss bonus is 29 in order to get that M4. If they want to be intelligent, they don't spend any money so they can get everything they need in the final round, including head armor, diffuse kits, all the utility, and rifles across the board. There's that missed smoke, that missed resmoke from Spinks, which allows Rops to capitalize. Walking out of Palace, I called it. That smoke's going to clear. Rops going to walk out as soon as that hit lands. The timing and the coordination on this Vitality squad is excellent. They're missing a few things in this mid control, but I think Maus has been giving it up enough that allows Vitality to rotate out. They're not taking space towards this B apps, but they know Jimmy's not aggressive. And a free kill from Torji onto ZywOo. The 3 T's go down right as the round is about to end because they're talking, they're chatting, they're having a good time. The sound of the crowd doesn't allow them to hear anything that's happening behind them. That's okay. 2 can buy 3 in this situation because they've won 3 rounds in a row. They have tons of money. On the opposite side, last time out being called by Cyclone, he goes, all right, guys, I told you to take top mid control and fight them after they gave that initial volley of utility, and you're not. So we're going to slow down now. You guys are on a crappy buy. Let's just sit in fucking corners. They're going to clear us out, burn their util. If you have a read, let's not capitalize on it right away. You think they're going up connector? Cool. We'll play a semi-retake here, force what we can into this round. If we don't win this round, we don't have to go for it. Just survive. Make sure that we have what we need to close this game out 13-11. Here's these kills. Jimmy gets 2 of them in the apps, and he is happy about that. This guy's opening a case. Click that shit. Come on, how are you not ready for this? Pointing towards the camera, dummy. Wow, your laptop sucks. Shouldn't call you dummy. You're a nice guy. Dude, that's garbage. Feel bad. Early default util towards top mid. Again, 12-10 for Mouse Sports, and they're on a half buy here. Spinks is able to get armor and an M4. I'm not sure where that came from. I think that might have got dropped from Jimmy over to him with the saved money. But with 25 kills, he might have it as well. Slower pace play by Mouse Sports this time. They're a little bit more aggressive towards that A ramp side. They have a stack going on. 3 on A site. Torji patrolling with the op from Cat towards mid, but he's never going to get that fight because ZywOo doesn't walk into it. Rob's towards A ramp. He's about to get some aggression here from 3 CTs in the forms of Broland, Spinks, and Xertion, but they seem to not want to go for it. Utility in the hand of Broland, kind of just jiggling. It's a little bit of a poor position, I think, but That's okay. Resmoke towards mid window allows for these Ts to come out from underpass and clear connector control, but Xerxian knows this. He spams through the smoke, just letting them know, hey, I'm here. I'm on a low buy. Don't worry about it. And the info has been gleaned. Up connector they go. Mezzi and Apex with Flames and Zywoo in tow. It's a 4-1 split. The first contact comes Rops this way onto Broland towards A-Rep. He lets them know, hey guys, I'm smoked out and this guy's got a 5-7 or a low buy. Up the connector they go. First contact, Apex kills Broland in sandwich position, and the site is cleared. Flamesy's flipping left, right. Spinks caught off by Mezzi in towards spawn behind that ticket booth position. Mezzi waiting for a flash from his teammates to clear this A site, or to clear the spawn, but no flash is coming. There's that flash, a little bit late, but no capitalization by Mezzi on it. Util dump towards that CT spawn and Xerxian to take contact. He gets destroyed by Mezzi and that AK, and he asks for a second flash towards spawn, but it doesn't come. The save has to happen from this Mouse Sports squad. I don't even like the fact that Xerxian went for that. He should have just saved his armor to get into the next round. You lose the rounds on CT side, you still get money if you save. It's not the same on the T side. You lose the money. Flames in an off angle jumps up on that headshot box outside a murder hole to clear out a scoped in Torji, and he takes him with the AK. Like I said before, he's clearing these angles against Shiro on Spirit the other day perfectly. With the AK-47, he does the same thing to Torji here. 11th on the board, 5 in a row for Vitality. Mouse has had 6 opportunities to close this game out, and they have failed 5 of them. Going into this last round, only one survives. 3,400 loss bonus. Each person had about $1,000 in the bank. So they should be able to buy. They might not have everything they want. No head armor, but that's fine. They're playing AKs. They might only have 2 kits. Maybe not enough flashes and smokes to set anything up. And here's the poor flash from Torji to support Xerxian to take this kill on spawn, and it just doesn't happen. Here we go. It is an actual full buy, 4 kits. No head armor on Xerxian or Spinks, but that's okay. Like I said before, AK-47s and no early util from this T side besides a mid-window smoke and a top mid smoke and Xerxian to aggress. He's alone, making it seem like there's more than just him here towards mid. And with support utility from Cat burning off Apex from underpass, they're able to capitalize on this top mid control, but Apex has passed this info up. Hey man, I'm mollied off. They could be top mid, and Flames plays passive. Apex gets the info of one of them running back into connector, and he gets a ton of damage on the first person, but he's traded by Brola. He's killed by Brola, and Spinks cleans up Flames, and Mezzi onto Spinks towards Catwalk. That's the big hitter of Mouse Sports down. 26-14, and this is the last round of this second map. Going into overtime potentially, 4v3. Mouse just has to stave off this last round, but with Xerxian on low HP and reaggressing towards connector, this could spell disaster. Mezzi clearing out from underpass, as well as Zywoo and Rops walking up Cat. They didn't expect Xerxian on this low HP, known damage to be re-peeking over top of the smoke, and it leaves it all up to Rops and Mezzi. Again, Mezzi under window, watching for any kind of reaggression. He catches Xerxian jumping up onto that Sawhorse, watching that murder hole in the window. And they don't know about Rops and connector yet. As the smoke clears from CT spawn, Torji on that ticket booth, he's able to capitalize and see info. Not capitalize, he's able to get info on Mezzi walking up connector. Xerxian a little bit of an off angle, but Mezzi knows it. He's not peeking into it towards that jungle side, and he's about to get that contact. He does, and Xerxian on a great timing walks into the fight. Utility back from Rops allows him to enter that jungle site, but Jimmy on his tail after that first kill of Xerxian is going to capitalize, and it's 13-11 for Mouse over Vitality. I think I said capitalize 400 times this game. I need to broaden my resume of the English language. Eat this shit. Turn that back